Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about Emancipation, starring Will Smith.
Know you really like it when it's colder, babe. So maybe we can make it snow today. If you feeling low, we'll take it slow today. Maybe we can smoke a O today. I can light a candle, get a bathtub going. Go and pour you a glass of champagne, get you in your bag. Always make you laugh, get you on a flight and even have you coming fast. Baby, I can make it. Laugh, we'll have you.
Emancipation, starring Will Smith, is actually, I would say, a really good movie. Now, I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10, but I definitely would give it maybe a 6.5 or a 7.2 just to be unique about it. I would say there's only one reason why I couldn't give it a 10. It's because it's a history retelling. Obviously, there's going to be certain directive changes to the story that you would be able to take out or put in that keep it at least close to the source material as possible and to still make a movie out of it. Now, that doesn't go to say that it wasn't a good movie. It's actually a really interesting movie, specifically on this one individual, known as Peter the Scorched Back Gordon. Now, if anybody knows history, during or before the Civil War, slavery was well accepted in many cultures. While it was a little bit different in the North, slavery was still acceptable throughout the entire America. That being said, certain people in the North decided that it was time enough for it. We had to get rid of it. It's time to be abolished. And the South specifically decided to fight against it. Now, Gordon in this situation is a black man in the South during this time, during the end of the Civil War. While Peter Gordon doesn't have a lot to do with the situation before his intervention in the Civil War, and even before the Civil War really takes full absolute swing, he does have a lot to do with after it. Now, once he escapes servitude, and slavery by the hands of the South, he actually attempts to find his family, find his wife, find his kids in the plantation that he was before he transferred to this new area. Now, there is a big hotshot slave hunter who actually, I believe, brought a lot to the table with his history, his energy, his mentality, and the way that he is portrayed and in the way that he actually hunts down slaves of the past. Now, that doesn't take away from a lot of Gordon. Now, Gordon's story, as close to the original, did actually happen, in which he did take a picture of his back. But that picture of his back actually brought a lot of people to the table and said, hey, look, we need people in the Union to be able to fight against this horrific situation that happened to this gentleman and that happened to a lot of other real human beings. Now, striking for emotional pullage and some type of, I would say, some type of currency, I guess is the right word to use in this situation, in which he brings a lot of people to the table because they're emotionally invested now. They put their chips on the table. And now, because emotions usually pull a lot of people to begin with, now people are moving physically to fight that battle. Now, I appreciate everyone that did try to fight that battle. I have to say that it's not all guns and roses. It's not all to say that everything went right and everything was, we fought the good fight. It was actually a horrific fight on both sides, I would have to say. I would say the fact that you have to fight your cousins, you have to fight your brothers, you have to fight your sisters, well, maybe not your sisters because they didn't really fight, but your brothers, your sons, your uncles, your grandfather, just because of a difference of political opinions, which got too connected with their personal lives. I'm seeing a lot of hints nowadays, liberals, conservatives calling you out on this one. Still, it's what happened. So the movie really pulls on 2 points. Obviously, it's Peter Gordon and Will Smith's portrayal of him that really pulls investors to the story and their love for history. That is to say, no holds barred, learning about everything that history has given us and being able to watch it on the screen really pulls some type of emotional cord with us as individuals. The second one, be it its changes and creative changes at that, is the hunter. They actually gave him a really interesting backstory that I found interesting. That is to say, made him seem more human, even though he was still an evil son of a... he recounts the telling in which he tried to bring someone to the table, a black woman that he grown some type of affection as child to a son, as those attachments usually go when he's a young kid, and he tried to bring her to the table. The father, in turn, questioned his son. Well, essentially, if we give them this and then give them this and give them this, when does it stop? And will they put us in the same situation, in the same place as they are now? Which is errorful thinking, if anyone doesn't already know. But at that time, there's not much moral or philosophical leaps and bounds that we've made in terms of that situation. Still, that being said, it actually brought a lot of character to the villain. It made me think that this person isn't just an evil guy, but a person that is twisted in his way of thinking, that could have turned out really good, really caring for people, and would have been a person that would fought in the Union for this situation. Now a person that fights in the South. Still, he's actually a really interesting person. Now, I would say that it still deserves a rating of 6.5 or 7.2 out of 10, specifically because of the fact that it's perfectly a decent movie. I think it was well done on the visual aspect. The audio sounded beautiful, especially the gunfight scene at the end of the movie, which I thought was spectacular of how they did that. That's pretty much it. Please leave a comment on your favorite scene or the worst scene, in your opinion, of the movie. Mine would have to be the history of the hunter. It brought a lot of emotional impact.
Hey guys, it's Story here. If you could drop a like, subscribe, share, and hit that little bell at the bottom of the little video right there. That'd be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video.
Harder for my challenger, I'm coming with that energy to pick you up and balance you. Them other niggas weak to me, comparison to caliber. I'm on go like it ain't no pads up in my